Okay, so I basically gave all my thoughts on the video that I made on Sunday. Everything still applies. So I'll go over that really quickly. Bitcoin, ETH, and the market. Again, I'm not bull. I mean, yes, we can go up 3K from here. I'm still not deploying any capital into new coins. I'm just going to take it one trade at a time. Focusing on Sol and Ondo at the moment. I don't really care, to be in multiple positions. I'm not going to give calls to make people happy. If I give a call, it's the calls that I'm going to be in. Okay, so um, if I were to take a look at Bitcoin here, right? So here is our last. Yeah, it just started. Here's our last low on the week. Oh, sorry, this is the daily. Here's our last weekly low. Okay. We're still in a downtrend. Like, we have broken market structure. We're in a downtrend. If we get this retest of this level, which, going back to candle charts, okay, it's our previous range low level. So I'm going to be shorting once we get it. This is the call that I made on my channel. Okay, this is a supply zone. So if we do backtest that, I expect us to reject from it. Now, I am not looking too long until we are able to reclaim this range low. Once we are back above, then I'm looking for something like this, possibly. Okay, I need more candle structure to form so I can place my stop loss adequately, and then basically playing it to range highs. Okay, I am not bullish until this level is reclaimed here. Where is it? 60. So basically this 64.5 to 65K level, I need that mid-range to be reclaimed. Once that happens, then yes, we are going to go back to range highs. I'll play it that way, but I'm not bullish until that happens. So yes, we can go up 4 to 5K from here. I'm happily okay with being sidelined here. We do possibly have a hidden divergence forming. Let me just check something. Let me turn on the garbage RSI. No divergence really. I mean, mm, maybe a small brief bounce up, but right now this is our previous lows, right? I'm only looking at candle body structure here. We broke down, rejected. This is resistance. I'm going to go to a lower time frame here. This is our current range, all right? So we have, let's make this blue. So this is our range, right? Range highs and range lows. I think if we are able to flip this, we have a little Adam and Eve pattern. This is kind of a double bottom pattern. I'm not looking to get into longs until this is flipped. Now I'm talking about a short-term long. So if this is flipped, your setup would look something like this. Okay, back to the highs there. All longs, in my opinion, should be with reduced risk. We are still not bullish. We have on a weekly at least we're not bullish. So either we flip it and get that, or if we do come back down to this little order block here, I'll be looking to possibly long that as well with very, very tight stops. Actually tighter than that. Back to the highs here and then the highs here. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. On Bitcoin, I'm not bullish, or I will gig along if we can reclaim back the range lows. Until then, I don't really care for the markets. Um, we do have a downtrend here as well. So, like I have multiple reasons to enter this short here, and this is actually the short setup that I have. Okay. So this is the short setup that I gave. It is the range low level, right? Supply zone, downtrend. I have multiple confluences. I can even draw fibs. Fibs go a little bit higher. Um, like that is the mid range. This is the area that I mentioned to we need the flip to be ultra or long back to range highs. But I'm taking this short, and I'm not going to play the stop loss. If we are able to, like, let's say reclaim this level, okay, and turn into support, then I'll be looking to close my short. A lot of people, and I've been reading in a lot of servers, a lot of chats, they're unwilling to take losses, even if it's a small amount. And in this market, like not just this market in general, but any market, whether it's forex or the stock market, you have to be able to cut your losers fast and keep your winners. So I'm okay with cutting losses. Like I'm not attached to money. If you're trading leverage, you shouldn't be attached to money. If you are trading leverage, you should be trading it with money you can afford to lose. You shouldn't have your whole portfolio in your leverage account. That's not how you're going to make money. You want to accumulate dips on the way down. I'm not saying we're in a bear market. We're definitely not in a bear market. Do I think the and I gave my thoughts, but do I think the cycle top is in? Yes, I do. Until we are able to reclaim 67.2, then I will change my mind. I will change my mind more than my fiance changes her clothes, more than she changes her mind on where to eat, more than she changes her mind on how many dogs that we want to have. Okay, like as a trader, you have to be able to adjust to market conditions. I will be bearish one day and bullish the other day. So until we reclaim 67.2, my thoughts say that this cycle top is in. So, but doesn't mean that the bull market's over. Okay, we're not losing. Here's the last higher low. Okay, so we're not in a bear market until this structure is lost. Okay, that's a bear market. All right. So we can come all the way down to 44 to 40K and I'm still bullish, like macro time ways. Low time frame, I do think the cycle top is in until 67.2K is reclaimed. Then we go higher. Right. I'm about 80% cash. But that's the short that I'm looking to take. Okay. You're sleeping on the couch tonight. I've been sleeping on the couch this whole entire relationship. It doesn't faze me. The dogs take up the bed. Let's take a look at ETH. Okay. So these are my triggers for ETH. And again, this is a patient area for ETH. The candle yesterday, although it looks bullish to me, not so much. It just looks like indecision. Okay. I have two triggers to long. Okay, we either sweep these lows here, right? And I will long on the reclaim of the swing low level. Stops below whatever wick is created, or I'm not looking too long until we break out of this downtrend and flip this resistance. Well, it's an SR currently, but flip back above, flip it into support, just like we did here and here and here, right? We broke out, flipped it, went higher. So I'm looking for that same exact condition to be met for me to go long. Anything in here for me is noise. And I know a lot of people are trying to get into trades, catch, $100 moves or, 1% moves. For me, I need like confirmation to long. Okay, like I don't care about the intraday moves. I'd rather, long higher with a confirmation or long lower with confirmation than trying to, FOMO into trades just because something is going up. So for ETH, these are the two triggers. I'll go ahead and post that as well, but it's in my channel. Sub Torpedo. Now on a lower time frame, if you're looking to trade, right, here is your range high. Here's your range low. Okay. This is going to be your mid-range. So let's fix my OCD. Okay. So if you're going too long, we're at range highs. You're going to set bids at mid-range level. Okay, you never want to long at range highs unless there's a flip. But you long range low levels, keep a very tight stop loss, and then play it back to there. Otherwise, you play range lows, maybe a triple bottom formation. Now over here, right, it's very close to my trigger to long. So if we get down to here, you might not want to take a long immediately. You can scale into a small position, and then you're going to wait for that sweep to happen to add more to your position. Okay, it's going to be a soft stop loss. So if you're not experienced in having soft stop losses because you're a degenerate, you want to go 100x, then I wouldn't suggest taking this trade. But you enter in with a very small position. Add more once this black line, like this, actually, let's make it purple because I'm gay now. So this purple line, once it's swept, right, and then reclaimed, that's when you're going to add more to your position. Then you will adjust your stop loss to having a hard stop loss. Okay, and take it from there. Right, so enter in small, triple bottom, add on the sweep once it's reclaimed, put your stop loss below the wick, and then TP1, TP2. That's how you play a range. Okay, now this range is getting weaker and weaker. We've had 3 rejections from it. So either we go back down to mid-range or you play the flip, and the flip would look something like this. However, it's going to be risky because your R&R isn't great. But if we get that flip, right, your stop loss will probably, that's assuming that it just goes up from here, right? Stupid. Assuming that it goes up from here, right? You're going to wait for a flip, meaning close above, retest and hold. That can happen on the next candle or a few candles later. And then you long with your stops below here, and you are targeting basically this trend line, right, as your TP, and then this resistance there. Okay, it's going to be a risky play, but that would be your setup. Okay, so 3 separate setups here. I'll post these. Black lines matter, of course they do. How do you think ETH ETF can change the structure? To be honest, I think it's priced in. I don't think anything is going to happen. Um, yes, we could pump, but right now, the structure is broken on Bitcoin on the weekly. So to me, Bitcoin is where the strength is. I mean, Bitcoin went up. Let's see. Hold on. In the last 10 minutes, or since I woke up, okay, Bitcoin went up about 2.2%. Okay, so this is from like 8:40 my time. Okay. ETH went up 1.5%. All right, so this tells me that ETH is weak compared to Bitcoin still. All right, so the focus should be on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin takes a little, gander to the downside, then alts are going to get hit hard. Now, if we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and I haven't taken a look at it yet, right? We're still range bound, okay? We got a little bear flag forming here. Now, if we can close, I mean, we closed the daily candle below this mid-range level. So if we can reject from here, we've confirmed that this has turned into resistance, and then we should make a move down to range lows, which will allow alts to pump a little bit. Um, but I like looking at USDT dominance, okay? And I covered this in stream, that's why I have these here. But we broke out from this ascending triangle, okay? The technical targets of this ascending triangle to the neckline, work with me, okay, are basically to this resistance here, okay, which will put in a more, I guess, bigger, a bigger inverse head and shoulders, right? But we broke out, but we haven't actually retested this resistance to flip it into support. So I think that we can go back down to that. Now, if we hold that point, right, if we hold it into support and can confirm the flip, then the market is going to continue to have a harder time of, going up. This would also be another higher low placed. We can also even come back down to the trend line here. There's still an uptrend. We haven't broken it. This is not weak. We've had like 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. So this can come all the way down here. But I mean, look, like Bitcoin, ever since we started talking, has gone down like $50 or $60, and Sol is down 50 cents. ETH is down $10. So right now the strength is in Bitcoin. I wouldn't look into alts really until we have a close on Bitcoin above that range low level. Where is it? Like if you want to long alts, you want this to close above, and then you can long some alts for quick moves. But if you are going to be leverage trading, you should not be swing trading here. I think scalp plays are going to be the best way to go. Quick in, quick out. You can add to your spot bags. Spot bags will be the safest here because you have like really no drawdown other than the coin going to zero before you lose it. But the strongest coin right now is going to be Sol, right? Sol spot is leading versus perps, super bullish, and then you have Bitcoin price actually leading versus perps as well. Not by much, but there is a premium. So this is an indication for more up. How effective it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be as strong. We're still in a downtrend on the weekly, but it's good to see that a premium is happening. It started happening around 54K or 55, or sorry, 53 to 54K. That's when I first noticed it. I didn't really feel like longing in it. It missed my level by a little bit, so I'm pretty upset. But as long as this starts to be leading by like $50 or $60, then that is a good sign for higher prices to come. Still back to previous range lows. Okay, so Sol. This is I'm still in my Sol setup. I averaged up a little bit because we got that 1 hour flip. I was looking for 145. We hit the resistance line perfectly. I need this level to hold here. So like right now it's going perfectly to how I drew it. I want it to come back down and hold this level to around like 140 and then start going higher. However, like we draw the trend line. Okay. We don't want to lose this trend. Okay, we got a small little rising wedge forming here. Okay. We have a higher lows being placed here, but this could be a lower high. If we take a look at the line candle, okay, and when I'm talking about market structure, I always go by candle bodies, okay? Wicks do not make sense, okay, because if you make this into a line chart, you will see that it's these are candle body closures, right? So if this is your higher low, right, this is your higher high, higher low, this actually put in a lower high. It can come back down here, put in another higher low, but you want to be careful that if it does that, it has lost this trend, most likely, comes back down to this trend here. But if it loses basically 134-ish down to 1/3, actually, it can go all the way down to 128 and put in a double bottom. But if it loses 129 again, it's going to go further down. This could also look like a giant bear flag as well. Okay, you have an A. This can go all the way up to like here for a B, and then you have a C down to 117. Okay, so this is still corrective, in my opinion. Yeah, this is just a giant bear flag forming. You actually have a deeper, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the fifth wave would send it down to around 120-ish. So I'm just being cautious here on Sol. However, I'm positioned. So hopefully we get a move to the upside, but just be careful if we lose this trend here. I'll post this chart as well. If we flip this resistance into support, then we're going to around 148-ish. Okay. The dollar. We bounced from support. We bounced where we had to. We can come all the way down to this trend line and hold. But if I'm looking, if you want to be bullish, that's what I need to be bullish. Okay, lose that, and then lose the structure, and go lower. All right. So now that I'm done with what I wanted to go, what coins do you guys want me to go over? Yeah, I did discuss the Bitcoin chart already. You can catch it on the recap when I post it on my YouTube channel. And the video that I made on Bitcoin is basically what I'm going to be going over. So if you watch my video on Bitcoin, it's the same thing. My thoughts haven't changed. BTC. Oh, the CME gap? This is a meme chart, man. I don't really go by this. Like, I know I cover it, but there's like no gaps. Like, I still want that 53K level to fill. Do I think it's going to fill? Yes. There's not really any gaps to be filled. Utter shitcoin here. Yeah, this looks terrible. This needs to bounce here. Otherwise, this goes much lower. Honestly, there's no support. This chart looks terrible. Stay away from this coin. I mean, this is the only place where it could bounce, right? It's putting in a small little higher low. So if you want to really get into longs here, then this is your setup. Otherwise, this coin wants lower, like much lower. The second setup would be, I mean, this would be tough because there's no, like, this is the lows, right? So probably back up to like there. Yep, this is a broken trend and turned into resistance. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could do here. You could even take a short with stops above, back down here. I'm not taking shorts on this coin. I don't touch liquid shit. But there's so many. If you think it's going to bounce, it's your long, stop there. If you think it's going to go further down, which it looks like it wants to, stops above the wick, target down to there. And then there's that. I honestly don't know what this coin wants to do. It could bounce here or it could go down. UNFI. Yikes. This trend line is getting weaker. We got a little supply zone here. This is just making lower highs and lower lows. This coin looks like garbage. Got support. Okay, so if you want to long this coin, entry there, stop loss, probably there, back to there, or you're going to short supply, stop loss above the wick. It would go up to make another lower high, and then further down. Yep, that's where the short should be. From that high to that low. Alright, see, it broke. That's a bear flag. Here's another bear flag forming. So it looks like it wants lower. I'm just gonna place these. And these are based off the higher time frame charts. Ondo. Let me show you my chart first. So, not to scare people, like this is still my high. I mean, I'm still in this coin from 22 cents. But okay. Tia. Okay. Uptrend, broke it, resistance, downwards. Ondo. Uptrend, broke it. Now we're on support here. I'm gonna make this again purple because I'm gay. TIA. Okay, lost trend, went up, turned to resistance, and then further down. This is following the same exact pattern here, right? So lose, and then further down. So I mean, yes, we had the daily liquidity sweep yesterday. It's a very, very risky long here. I think this can come down all the way to 72, 73 cents if Bitcoin does continue to go further down. I wouldn't long this until this reclaims and goes higher. I think doing anything in this area is going to be very risky. So you either wait until this breaks this purple line, right, turns into resistance and you can short, or you wait until this 103, 104, which was previously resistance, or sorry, previously support, right, turn into resistance here. Once it's reclaimed and retested into support, then you could long back up to possibly like this would be your setup if it does so. I can't place the stop loss yet, but somewhere back up to there, like 120-ish. Okay. Otherwise, this coin looks like TIA on its way down. This will definitely bounce from here. So if you're looking for a long, got a little parallel channel forming as well. So let's see what happens here. And for comparison, I'm going to post this chart as well. Okay. Sweet. Very important level to reclaim here. Resistance, broke out, flipped it to support, lost it. So we got to see how this daily closes. If we can close above and retest it, this would be your setup. I probably take this on spot, and you can maybe get a 30% move up. I wouldn't take this on leverage. This stop's way too wide. Yep, that level needs to be reclaimed. On the daily. I don't see a clear range. I see an SR level here. Maybe a tight something like that. We have SR, also a 4-hour order block. So entry, and then I wouldn't have a DCA here. Stop loss below that wick, and target back up to the 80s. Otherwise, the daily closure above, retest and hold, and then you can get a move out to 90. Granted, if Bitcoin, is not like completely having a shitter. Okay. AVAX. Okay. Hard to read here. So this is our swing low level. Okay, we had a swing failure. I always say, you know, if you miss the swing failure, which this did here, and then continue to run up, always place bids at that level just in case it comes back down. So 23.42 is where I would bid. Now I would have my stop losses here usually, but that's way too wide, and you know a lot of people are degens. So if you can't, I mean, I would definitely do that play. Okay, um, and have a tighter risk. But here is your range. Okay, to make that black. Right, so there's your range. So this range low needs to hold, otherwise we get that. Here's your mid range. Okay, let's make that blue. It is currently resistance. So, like, while we're hovering in between the range, I wouldn't do anything. There's a few. Now, if you're going to short range or mid range, this would be it. Okay. You have range highs here with an order block. Back to mid range and range lows. It's also in a supply zone, so it makes for a good trade. I'm going to remove that line because my screen looks like cops and robbers. Yeah, these are the potential plays that you could take. This one's going to be risky because we were already at range lows. We rejected at mid range twice, so it's getting weaker and weaker. So this one, if you go with a smaller position size. This one I think is a good trade setup. And if we do get that triple tap along with the former range lows, I think it's going to be a good setup as well. I wouldn't do anything in between here. My plays will never ever be market longs. They're always limit orders. ARB. Yikes. Wait, is this the oldest chart? Yikes. Looks worse and worse on every single chart. Well, it has broken its lows. I'm not counting this here. This is the lows. Okay. So I wouldn't long or buy this until it reclaims the lows. Then you have a deviation, right? Then you can go up. But I mean, like right now, this is going to be a tough low to break. You have a strong supply zone here. So you need this to flip. And I would take this on spot. Like, this is your setup. Okay. So break above, hold. That is your setup. And I don't think you're going to get, you know, a move up to like $1.97 anytime soon. It's going to be a very strong battle here. But if it does reject here and close below, then you could take a quick short on a lower time frame. and you have 1 hour resistance where we currently are at, right? This pattern looks like Bitcoin's pattern. So break above on the 1 hour, you could take a scalp long, and by scalp I mean very, very tight. Back up to, I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible R&R because this is gonna be your first TP. So this is your entry. If it breaks out, right, it becomes an SR, TP1, TP2, and then TP3. The R&R is terrible. Like, it's not worth it for me to take it, but that is your setup on the 1 hour, and then your short would be that short here if it rejects. Reject, close below, and then you can short, put in another lower high, and then look for the retest to take profit if you're shorting. Everything here requires confirmation for me. As I said, I don't think the bottom's in, and I think the top is done. Okay. BCH. I can do this for another 10 minutes and then gotta go. Also a very, very important level. Right? Previous highs. And we're just hovering on. Like this, when you're hovering on support, it's bearish to me. This just looks like more distribution here, right? Reaccumulation to redistribute. So, like, I don't even... a lot of these charts look like shit. Break out, retest, and then you can long with stop somewhere below here. TP1. TP2. Otherwise, I mean, this bounced perfectly from the demand zone, right? If you're in my class, like, perfect. You have another demand zone here on the daily. Now, if we do lose that level, then this is where you bid. But everything's in a downtrend. You need, to break above to get confirmation. Otherwise, nothing looks good for longs yet. So break above, flip it into support, and then you could possibly long with a stop somewhere here to there and then there. Confirmation play, so don't long yet. Could you please analyze, say I have it from 52 cents down to 50. Would you suggest DCA when it comes down lower? Looks decent. I mean, that's a very, very strong daily candle. We are at resistance here. If we do reject, a good place to long would be this order block. Right. Because we do have strong supply here. Um, if that doesn't hold, then another long at support. This is a must-hold level. I mean, it bounced perfectly from this order block here, but this is a must-hold level. Break out. It's most likely going to reject from here. Flip it. If it holds the flip and consolidates above, you have an inverse head and shoulders forming as well, right? So long would stop somewhere below here on a lower time frame, and then this looks good. If the market pumps from here, technical targets of this on the breakout, wherever the breakout is, it's about 116%. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I personally wouldn't DCA until either we come back to the 22 cent level, or honestly, if we reclaim 40 cents. If we reclaim 40 cents, that's where you would DCA. Right? Resistance, flip it to support, reclaim it, put in a giant deviation, and then go higher. That's where I would go with say. Did you go over about what the CME gap chart is on your BTC chart? Because I haven't gotten the chance yet. No, I didn't go over the CME gap. There's no gaps. The CME chart is, I know I went over that in my class and stuff, but the CME chart is a meme chart. Game of Dot. Dot is the worst coin to ever exist outside of Sol. Yeah, this chart looks abysmal. It's basically on life support here. Like, their project's dead. So, if you have this in your spot bags, I don't think it's worth holding. This will never go back to its all-time highs. This won't even go back to 3x in my opinion. Unless, their ambassador becomes someone that can save projects. But I don't see it. But if you want to long, you want to wait until this downtrend is broken. Break out. Retest. I would wait until this level is reclaimed before longing. So $6.51. So like breakout, retest that level, stops like somewhere above here, back to those highs if you get it. This chart looks terrible. I mean, we have another possibly higher low forming here, but you need the confirmation to long. If it does come back down to the swing low level though, you can place bids. So something like that. Played that way. I'd be looking to short the fuck out of this if I get it. I'm simple. I like to see some projects burn. BTC already went over. Sol BTC. Yeah, Sol BTC looks good. We have a possible breakout coming. Breakout. Flip this resistance into support. Oh man, this could fly. That's why I told you, like, Sol is a very, very strong coin right now. That's why I'm exposed to it. I'm not really exposed to the markets, but Sol, because this looks good. So breakout. If we can hold the breakout, this will send higher. I think the targets for Sol are going to be 148, 154, and like 162-ish. I think I gave it on my channel. Sol looks really good. Tia. I didn't really go over it. I just posted the comparison. Very, very important level to reclaim. Right? Previously resistance, support, and then we lost it, turned to resistance. If we are able to reclaim it, we have a deviation, and then you could get a heated pump. Maybe something like that. This is heavily oversold, but it probably goes there and dies again. Like the other shitty ass project. What is it? DYM. Like these are getting heated pumps because they've been down only for a long time. So reclaim, hold, and then that's your setup. Yeah. Otherwise, if this does come further down, then you play this demand zone here. And I doubt it's going to come this far down really fast, but you never know. Reject here. Here's an SR. Comes back down, puts in a left or right shoulder, and then maybe that's a bid as well, maybe on a lower time frame. Yeah. Got demand zone here. Inverse head and shoulders target probably is to like there. So I'll post all of these separately. There's the actually play the SR. And this one's based on the daily. I know it's a silly question. How low do you think we can go with Bitcoin? 44 to 40, 40 to 44K. That's what I covered in my video. We can go down that low and still be bullish. Is 23,452 on AVAX a high value if we were to go sweep 52K? What did I put? No, if Bitcoin goes down that low, actually, I think, yeah, I think so. I think you can start scaling in around 24.4 down to 23.452. But you better hold that Bitcoin holds 53K. If it does, then those are great areas to hold. $21.1. I just need to see the price action on what happens if Bitcoin will drop like $500 on AVAX. Like right now, 57.9, 26.13. If we were to drop like 5 or 600, I want to see how price reacts to that. Because right now, Bitcoin dominance is falling, right? If we turn this into resistance, if Bitcoin falls a little bit, then alts should stay stable. So I just want to see how price action works there. Yeah. Ape is a dead project. I feel no sympathy for people in NFTs. They deserve what they get. Yeah. They turn all-time lows into resistance. This coin's fucked. I have so many like NFT projects reaching out to me to be analysts, and the first thing I tell them is send pics of your mom, and I judge them by how hot their mom is, and then I tell them no regardless. I just want to see their moms. Like I don't want to put them down too bad, you know. Like if their project sucks, like I hope they're smart in some ways. Stifler's mom. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop recording here, and I'm gonna upload